let's take a look at our top selections.
Race 8 on Saturday at Santa Anita is the Grade 2 City of Hope Mile, and probably the most significant potential Breeders' Cup prep race of the weekend at Santa Anita. And it's kind of interesting because this race, this 1 mile grass race, has kind of fallen out of favor. At one point in time, this race produced a whole slew of Breeders' Cup mile winners. From 99 to 2001, it was won by Silic, Warchant, and Val Royal. All three of them would come right back in their very next start to win the Breeders' Cup mile. In 2004, Singletary finished third in the City of Hope mile. I think it was called the Oak Tree Mile back then. Singletary finished third in the Oak Tree Mile and would come back to win the Breeders' Cup mile in his next start. But over the last 16 years, this 1 mile grass race has kind of completely fallen off the map. It just does not produce Breeders' Cup mile candidates, or it produces candidates, but not winners, at least in the last 16 years. That might change this year when we start talking about the race. As far as the Breeders' Cup, I just want to remind everybody that full coverage of the Breeders' Cup November 6th and 7th at Keeneland will begin next Friday in Daily Racing Form. We'll have early odds, complete coverage. We need to get the Preakness and the Triple Crown out of the way. But next weekend, look for next Friday's Daily Racing Form to include full coverage of all the Breeders' Cup all the Breeders' Cup races that are coming down the road in about a month at Keeneland. Okay, as far as the Breeders' Cup mile, I said that this race this year could in fact influence the Breeders' Cup mile. I believe it actually could do more than influence it. I think it might produce the Breeders' Cup mile winner because I love the favorite. Let's take a look at the field. A field of 7 will go in the City of Hope mile. It's race number 3. It's race number 8 on Saturday. It's the Grade 2 City of Hope mile, $200,000 race, and the favorite is down on the bottom, number 7, Mo Forza. Mo Forza is, if he reproduces his most recent start, he's going to be very tough to beat, but it's more than a one-horse race. Number 4, Royal Ship, is a Group 1 winner from Brazil who was flat given a race in his U.S. debut. Number 1, Sharp Samurai, won the City of Hope mile 2 years ago. He's using this race hopefully to prep for the Breeders' Cup mile as well. Sharp Samurai, number 1. Royal Ship, number 4, and Mo Forza, number 7, are the 3 principals in this field. I suppose you can make a case that number 6, Blitzkrieg, who is expected to set the pace, could potentially steal it. But Sharp Samurai, Royal Ship, and Mo Forza, if they run well enough on Saturday, we could see them making their next start in the Breeders' Cup mile, November 7th at Keeneland. Okay, so why do I like Mo Forza so much? Well, how can you not like Mo Forza? When we take a look at his comeback race at Del Mar, it was in late August in the Grade 2 Del Mar mile, and Mo Forza, who was down inside waiting for room, Flavian Pratt pushed the button, and Mo Forza absolutely smoked home. He came home in 22-4. Won by more than 4 lengths. This was a devastating performance, a comeback race by Mo Forza, who last year was a 3-time graded stakes winner against 3-year-olds. Look at that gallop out, and look at the horse finishing second, or at least galloping out in second. We'll talk about him in just a minute. That's a big gallop out by Mo Forza, a good finish by the 3rd place finisher. We'll talk about him. And Mo Forza, if he reproduces that race on Saturday, he's going to be very tough to beat in the City of Hope mile. Now, there is one caveat, and that is this. About a week after that smashing comeback victory by Mo Forza, he came down with a mild case of colic, and it interrupted his training schedule slightly. He missed a workout. Trainer Peter Miller said this week that Mo Forza did, in fact, miss a workout coming out of the Del Mar mile. However, he was over the colic episode in no time whatsoever. He has resumed training, and he has posted 2 recent workouts. Miller did not seem at all concerned about that mild episode of colic, but I bring it up because when you're backing a horse at a short price, in my opinion, everything has to be absolutely perfect. I'm not sure if Mo Forza's training interruption means that it's a perfect segue into the City of Hope mile. I don't think it's going to matter, but I bring it up because it might. And Mo Forza, expected to be heavily favored in the City of Hope Mile. He did have a minor colic episode, so I don't think it's going to affect his performance, nor does Miller, and Mo Forza is going to be very, very tough. But the horse that finished third in the Del Mar Mile last time out is a horse by the name of Royal Ship. Royal Ship was a Group 1 winner in Brazil, making his U.S. debut in the City of Hope Mile. And this is a good horse down in South America, a Group 1 winner in South America. In fact, we have a tape stretch run, at least, of his most recent start in South America. It was in a Group 1. And the interesting thing about Royal Ship is he rallied from last to finish third in the Del Mar Mile. But in this race, Royal Ship was forwardly placed. He sat second the entire race, and then he just drew away. It was run over a good turf course. There was some give in the ground, and I don't know if there was anybody behind him, but this was his 5th consecutive victory, and he did it like a good horse. It was his first Group 1 victory, Royal Ship. So the point is, he arrived in North America with credentials. He also is trained by a guy who has had phenomenal success over the years with South American imports, trainer Richard Mandela. When Royal Ship made his U.S. debut in the Del Mar Mile, the race won by Mo Forza, Mandela and jockey Mike Smith got together and said, look, this is his comeback race. It's not the end all. Let's take him back and let's make a run. That's exactly what they did. And in hindsight, Mandela says, I think we overdid it a little bit. We took him far back, Royal Ship, and he did finish with run, but he had way too much to do, and Mo Forza was cranked and ready to fire. Royal Ship used that race as a prep toward the City of Hope Mile, and we'll find out on Saturday if he's good enough to go on to the Breeders' Cup. He is Breeders' Cup eligible, Royal Ship is. So if he runs well enough, he could show up in the Breeders' Cup Mile as well. A good horse in good form with Group 1 form. Mandela and Smith both believe that he's going to improve second start back. I have no reason to doubt those two guys. All right, the third horse to talk about is number 1, Sharp Samurai. Sharp Samurai, he's 6 years old now, but I think he's as good as ever. In fact, when we take a look at his most recent start, it was in the Pacific Classic on dirt, and this was a race that was won by Maximum Security. But Sharp Samurai, he ran well in defeat. He finished second. He was clear of third. That's Midcourt that's going to finish third. And Higher Power back in fourth. Sharp Samurai ran well. So this was a dirt race. What about his grass form? Well, he won this race 2 years ago. Let's take a look at that race as well. 2 years ago, Sharp Samurai, that's a horse by the name of Fly to Mars down on the inside, who was razor sharp at this point in his career. And Sharp Samurai, ridden this day by Gary Stevens, kept on grinding in the City of Hope Mile, and he was up right on the wire. I'm still not convinced that he won that photo, Sharp Samurai did, but he did. And that was his most recent win. It was 2 years ago. He's lost 7 races since then, but he's been running well throughout that 2-year period. He ran well in most of those 7 races, hit the board in 5 graded stakes races during that time. He enters this year's City of Hope Mile in top form with a versatile type of running style. And Sharp Samurai, if he pops up and wins the City of Hope, he's going to the Breeders' Cup Mile. Okay, what about a long shot? Well, you have to respect the speed of number 6, Blitzkrieg. He is fast, and I think he's going to make the lead. He could potentially be long gone. He was claimed a while back by Doug O'Neill from Richard Mandela, if I'm not mistaken, and Blitzkrieg has turned out to be one heck of a claim. He'll take this field as far as he can, but when all is said and done, the City of Hope Mile, if the best horse wins this 1 mile grass race, it'll be Mo Forza. Despite that colic episode out of the Del Mar Mile, this is a good horse in top form, making only the second start of his campaign. I expect Mo Forza to win the City of Hope Mile and give a terrific account of himself next month in the Breeders' Cup Mile. Race 8, Saturday at Santa Anita. It's all about Mo Forza.